Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome back to the Fumble Live, or as it's been this week, as the Ben world turns, because we've got a lot of Ben Simmons to talk about today, and I'm kind of over it, but you know, it's Friday. We're getting into the weekend, so it's okay. So we're just going to get into it, you guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and now here is the Fumble Squad. I'm your host, Jackie Ray. You can follow me on all things social media at JRayTheFanatic.
It's your boy Chris. You can find me everywhere at CK2K. Jackie Ray. It is Friday. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I mean, sorta. I need one weekend where I don't have to do any work.
Oh,
this
word.
Is not that weekend.
Man. Yeah, I was enjoying my workless weekends because I know, especially since the NBA starts this week and there's a lot of things are starting up for me this weekend. So I ain't gonna lie, it was nice having nothing to do last weekend. So I hope you get yours soon enough.
Yes. Me too. But before we get into our need to know news, I want to ask you something. Did you see last night's game? Did you see Thursday night's game?
I did, because I had a lot riding on this game, so I actually did end up watching.
So now my question for you is, how trash is Urban Meyers?
You know what? I was. You're right. It's hard for me to say this because you guys know I love Ohio State because they always get players that I love. But man, because he had the game in the bag. Like they started out that game looking crisp.
14-0 at the half and didn't even score.
Third quarter, and then they just went downhill from there. Yeah, I don't know. But rookie head coach. Can do head coaches get passes like players? Yeah, no, it's buns. He's buns. But at the end of the day, too, though, Jackie. Here's my question, though. I'm playing devil's advocate here. How much of it is actually Urban Meyers, and how much of it is it still the Jacksonville Jaguars? I mean, they added a few things, but they didn't really do too much. This team was trash last year, too. So coming in with a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback,
I'm not giving him that pass. I'm not giving him that pass because of how he started. He started by bringing in, what was that guy's name? Chris Doyle, that racist guy. So he probably lost some of the locker room then. And then he got Tim Tebow. And then he drafted that Travis whatever guy. And he hasn't even had a reception yet.
Hasn't even played. Yep.
Hasn't played yet. No. All Urban Meyers' fault. I don't care. Yeah. Go back to USC, sir. I mean, well, not back to, but go to USC. I know they checking for you. Go over there. Them.
Go back to college, she said. Go back to college. This ain't for you. You ain't a big boy.
No. All right, let's get into our first need to know news, which of course is Ben. I don't know why I did that. Oh my goodness.
It worked. What do you mean? That was actually pretty good. I know you don't want it to work, but it actually worked pretty good.
But it's just this never-ending saga, and this is what I said earlier in the week, or maybe it was even last week. I don't know. This saga's been going on so a while. Everything's blending together. But I said until there's a resolution, this is all we're going to talk about. It's the only questions that reporters are going to ask. And the more you ask Joel Embiid these Ben Simmons questions, the realer he gets. And he's kind of more and more showing that he is pretty much over the whole thing. And he says he feels that the team has done everything for him, including make some mistakes that I know we talked about as far as the Jimmy Butler situation, making mistakes just to please him, and now he's sitting out. So he feels some type of way about it. I want you to take a listen to this clip, and then we'll get into it a little bit more.
We just added Joel. So I feel like, our teams have always been built around his needs. So it was kind of surprising to see, what was said, that even going back to, the reason we signed out is, we got rid of Jimmy, which I still think it was a mistake, just to make sure that, he needed the ball in his hands, and, that's a decision they made. Like I said, it is surprising, but I'm really focused on the guys that are here. The situation is weird, disappointing, borderline kind of disrespectful to all the guys that are out here.
Yeah, so basically you heard what he says, that they made some mistakes just because he feels like Ben Simmons needed the ball in his hand. And he says, we're a better team with him. There's no question. Hope he changes his mind. But I kind of owe it to these guys to worry about what we have here. And he said that's the fun job.
sure.
Figuring out what's going on with Ben is not his problem. He's not the owner. He's not the GM. I 100% agree with him with what he said about the trade with Jimmy Butler. Like, we made trades, we made moves so we could have a stretch five until we could get the ball into Ben Simmons' hands more. We've done everything he wanted. And now he didn't do his part. So now I'm a little bit surprised that he is sitting out. And I think this is, again, the way he's delivering it right now, very nice. But I think the more reporters are asking him these questions, the more we're going to get how he really feels. But did he say anything wrong in this statement?
The Al Horford comment was the only thing for me, but that has nothing to do with Ben Simmons. That was a weird one, saying that they got Al Horford there for Ben. Like, But other than that, no, 100%. Especially being the leader of this team, like, I think I don't see shade. I don't see him ripping, but I think he's just speaking as the leader of this team, because you don't want to be in the past wondering what's going on with Ben, what's happening with Ben. Will Ben return, this, that, and the third? When you're getting ready for the season to start here in a few weeks, like, we can't, that's for the birds right now. So for him to say he's disappointed in everything he said, to me, I completely agree with, like I said, except for the Al Horford comment. But yeah, he's right. Like, that's not his problem. His focus is to get the guys that he has right now, the guys that are there, to be focused and move on to this coming season. Because I mean, a lot of people still believe the Sixers are one of the top 3 best teams in the East, and without Ben Simmons, it's going to be a very hard task to get. And I think that they could still do it, because I still think they have a lot of talent on this team. And them worrying about Ben Simmons and every conversation being about Ben Simmons is not going to put him in that direction. So shout out to Joel Embiid to for not tiptoeing around it, because I feel like a lot of other players in this situation like this would be like, we're not talking about Ben right now. We're worried about here. We're not going to talk. No, he straight up said how he felt, and I feel like that's the best thing to do. And nothing he said was wrong. He should be disappointed about it, and Ben should be disappointed too. But I don't know.
I'm glad you said that. Ben should be disappointed, but with what we know about Ben, and I agree, I don't think he said anything shady. I think he was just 100% real. But from what we know about Ben Simmons, because Ben Simmons also felt he was kind of thrown under the bus a little bit, but I thought that was warranted. So do you think Ben Simmons would watch this and think that this is shade?
Probably. I'm done playing. Although I am defending Ben Simmons, the basketball player, I'm done defending Ben Simmons, the dude. I thought that a lot of the criticism that he was getting from his own teammate would have helped him, would have pushed him, a la like we were talking about with Anthony Davis yesterday. But no, it seems like it really affects him and it really hurts his feelings. So no, if he is watching this, I think he's feeling the type of way by this, and that's unfortunate. But I just think that's just who Ben Simmons is.
Okay, which leads me back to the other point I always make. When you leave a situation without addressing the problems that you created in it, you take those problems with you. If Ben Simmons is super emotional and can't take this kind of truth, how is that going to be different somewhere else?
That is a very good question. I think the only way that it ends up being different somewhere else is when clutch gets their way and Ben Simmons is the guy, which is why he needs to go to a team where it's just him, a la the Sacramento Kings. I'm going to talk the Sacramento Kings into existence because it just makes sense. I don't care about the Sacramento Kings, nor do I care that they are a playoff team. To me, it just makes the most sense where there will be less conversations about Ben Simmons, and we can finally be over this entire saga, entire melodrama that we're here living through right now. So I just feel like he goes to the Kings, he gets what he wants. They most likely move him for like a Fox or one of those point guards or whatever they got there, and then he can have the team, and then we'll see what's coming next for Ben Simmons. But unless he goes to a team where he is the guy, then I think it's going to be the same situation, maybe not the first year, but down the line. I think we're going to see this all over again, which is, to your point, I know you said you would like to see him be that third option for a team or second option for a team, depending on the situation. But I feel like if that happens, we could see this happen all over again. And I would love to be wrong. It's just with what we're seeing right now, Ben, you're not giving us much else to work off of. So that's just how I feel about it.
And I think if he goes to a place like Sacramento Kings, the noise gets louder because he's not going to be the immediate difference for that team. They're going to have to make other moves as well. And then the narrative is still like, okay, well, this is what he wanted, and he hasn't changed the atmosphere for this team. And I don't know if he's not mentally strong enough to take truth over here. When somebody says, hey, look, you came over here and the Kings are still the Kings. I don't know.
I'll say this. Of any California team, which California team going to get the less conversation?
Facts.
So maybe he might be able to fall into a little crack, and we'll never really give him that. Like it'll just be a disappointment, but nobody's gonna really make as big of a deal about it when he's playing for the Kings, because they'll be like, "Oh, it's the Kings." Yeah, it's the Kings. That we should expect this coming. So we'll see. I don't know. It's all crazy.
He said they should trade Ben to Cancun. Y'all, I love the Ben shade. Like I be loving it.
It's too. Oh my god. Oh man, he already there, man.
Right, he is, because we ain't seen him. He might be in the Bermuda Triangle right now. We ain't seen him. We ain't heard from him. But let's get on to this next one, because I'm calling full on cap on this next one, because if there's anybody that cares what people say, in my opinion, that's Kevin Durant, because Kevin Durant makes time for the trolls. He makes time for the noise. But he's out here talking about, no, the noise ain't it. He says that there's thousands of people that have played before him. There'll be thousands of people that play after him. And so you can't overthink things. You can't care too much about what people say. And you just have to understand the long game. And then that'll give you some mental ease as well. And then he says everything that he's doing right now is about his own personal evolution and his own personal development. He says he understands the game better now, and he's not chasing anything. He's not chasing anything. He just wants to be the best he can be on the floor, not chasing anything. No. Okay, with that said, Kevin Durant, take it away.
Show ourselves because we hold ourselves to a high standard, and we want to play well every time we step out there. That's just who we are as competitors. But as far as the outside noise, from no disrespect from you guys, from our families, friends, and even our fans expecting us to do so much, and if we don't live up to those, like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. But we want to come out there and play a great brand of basketball every night, and we hold ourselves to that standard. So I expect us to come out there with some swagger and some intensity, but outside noise shouldn't matter much to this group.
Is that what?
So if you can outside noise shit. Okay, Chris, go ahead. I see you got
No. I was just gonna say that last line was the one where, like, okay, I take the cap off, because he said should. The outside noise should not affect us. Not that. I mean, he did earlier. He did say that they're not hearing it, blah, blah, blah. But the last line right before it cut off, he said outside noise should not affect us. That one sounds a little bit more realistic, Mr. Kevin Durant, especially for you and that Brooklyn Nets team, where you know you're going to be getting a lot of outside noise. So I just, that last part, that saved him a little bit in my eyes. But yeah, go ahead, you continue. I just wanted to point that out.
I wish I had the name of the reporter that asked him the next question, because they were super professional, because I'd have been like, hold up, you trying to tell me that? Well, don't explain your Twitter account, sir. That's what I would have said. but the reporter was like, so when did you come to that realization? Like, how did you all of a sudden decide that you wanted to shut out the noise? And he was like, oh, that's when he said, everything I do is because I know more basketball now. I understand the game better. I'm not. Then he said, and this is why I was like, liar, liar. Pants on fire. He's like, I'm not even worried about being the greatest, basketball. None of that stuff bothers me. I just want to play. Every time the ball is in my hand, I want to be the best I can be. And if he said that, and then today I went online and his Twitter was deleted, then I might be like, okay, he's really trying to block out the noise. But he listens to all of it. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, no, I don't know what to believe in that situation as well, because like you said, and it's not even just him. Like, I know he's speaking for the Nets, but that team is just full of all that. You got James, you got Kyrie. Like, that's just how they are. So for him to be the one, like, if James Harden came out and said all these kind of things, I'd be like, all right, fine. I mean, you still got Kevin Durant on your team, but fine, I guess I'll buy it. But to have Kevin Durant, I understand he's the leader, but have him be the one to come out there and say those comments, it makes it a little less believable for me, man.
Yeah, and maybe he's right. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. This is all cap. I'm just trying to be politically correct, because I think he's lying.
I respect it.
Maybe when you're with somebody like Kyrie, Kyrie, in my opinion, he does it the absolute wrong way, but he does do a pretty good job of just shutting out the media. Like, he'll come out here and boldly say the earth is flat and not care who says what about it, and won't say nothing else. Sure. Like, the earth is flat, and he just keep it moving. I think he does a better job, and I would say spending time around, Kyrie, who's kind of mastered the I don't give a damn, maybe, but I don't think so. I think this is all a lie.
I saw a really hilarious tweet. It was like a week or two ago, and I'm so mad I didn't share it so we could have put on the post up or something like that. But I saw a tweet where a dude said that Kyrie Irving is LeVar Ball in the NBA, where he'll say any damn thing that he pleases, and he ain't gonna back off on what he says, and he knows that we all gonna talk about whatever he says. And I was just like, damn. That's a pretty good comparison. I could definitely see that. Like you just mentioned, like you gonna say the Earth is flat, and he ain't gonna back off on it. You know what I mean? Like that's just how Kyrie is. So to that point, yeah, if Kyrie had says maybe I'd feel a little bit more. And I also like what you said, where he does believe, and he does say that he's not going to listen to the media and do that stuff, but he just handles it the wrong way. But even though it is the wrong way, at least he still fulfills that. Like, I ain't listening to what you're going to say, bye, y'all trash, da-da-da. And then people can be like, oh, can you believe what Kyrie Irving said? And we won't hear nothing from Kyrie Irving for about a month. So he got his point across, and he's still going to do what he said he's going to do. So, yeah, I guess I would understand a little bit more if it came from Kyrie, but not KD. I'm sorry. Just not you, KD. Not you, bruh.
Now, I will give him this. If he actually goes out and practices this kind of mindset, I think that's good because, like he said, everyone expects them to be, in the finals. Everyone expects that. And if they don't, then it's all this narrative of what they should have done, could have done, why it didn't work. And I do think if you feed into this too much, it is a problem. It plays on your psyche. I just don't believe we're just going to wait. We're going to wait until about Game 10, and then we're just gonna go back and count all his tweets. If there's more than 10 tweets addressing something that the media said, we're gonna circle back to this and be like, this is lying. He lying, that period.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So Artie has a good question. She says, KD may respond to the outside noise, but if it doesn't affect his game, does that mean he really has blocked it out? Even if he listens to it, but his game is
never affected his game. That's the one thing I always respected about him. Like, we hate hearing it. And we hate, seeing the comments and stuff like that. But it's never affected his game. Kevin Durant can go out there and be so upset that Bob from down the street thinks that his shoes don't match, and he'll go in a full conversation about that, and he's still gonna drop 40 the next night. Like, I don't think it ever has affected his game. But for my thing is, I'm just thinking about for the team, and I don't care about the Nets, but from an NBA basketball fan standpoint, that's where I want to see it at. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't think him speaking has ever affected his game ever. Yeah.
I agree. All right. So TBD says, I respect your petty, Jackie. I respect you respecting it, sir. And with that, let's move into the post-up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Friday edition of Post-Up with your boy, Chris. We got some good ones today. We're going to start off. Oh, I lost my list. There it is. Starting off with none other than, you guessed it, Ben Simmons. Now, there's a lot of things that was going on with this whole Ben Simmons saga yesterday. A lot of people were tweeting out. A lot of people were responding. A lot of information were coming out about how much, in fact, he was going to be fined amidst everything going on. Because that was the next question, because now everyone's talking, because his preseason's about to come up. Training camp started. He officially missed the first day of training camp. Now everybody's going to be in his pockets and try to figure out how much he's going to get fined, how much he should get fined. I mean, our own Kevin Lang has been saying, sit him out and fine him to the moon. That's what he's been saying. Kevin Lang's been on that's been his statement from the beginning, and I feel like a lot of people share the same sentiment. But it gets weird when these people are talking about how much money he's going to lose, and then he likes the posts talking about him losing money. I don't understand that. But this post came up on IG, and it was talking about what could Ben Simmons face in fines, and it said miss media day $50,000, practice $2,500, 50, blah blah blah. You guys see the math right there. Exhibition, regular season games up to $227,000 per game. Golly, regular season 21. Look, you guys get it. You see right there. But look who liked this post. I can't decide whether this is he's just that evil and petty, and I can't find the word for it, crazy, or I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand this one. I can't put a finger on this like, he's trolling. No, this ain't trolling. This is stupid. But Jackie, talk to me on this one, because like I said, I can't put a word on it. I don't know how to feel about it, because to me it just looks dumb. I don't think it's funny or a troll. I like trolls. This one, I don't see this as that. What are you reading this as?
I think that he knows those numbers are right. I think he sat down with his accountant and he's figured out the numbers. But the
Like,
thing
damn, they
that's
got
so
it.
right, he's like, yeah, and he's probably is that right? Is that right? And then his accountant is like, well, yeah, but this is the last season, and that's the part that's weird to me. This is also the last season of his Nike endorsement, and you know, if he gets other accolades, he gets another bonus from Nike. But the only way you get that bonus from Nike is if you're on the freaking court. So I don't know. So I don't know. But I feel like in my heart of heart, Ben, and don't get me wrong, y'all out here talking about, hey, money, if people feel strongly about the vaccine, the money it doesn't matter. I guess if you feel strongly about not being somewhere, same thing, right? The money doesn't matter. It's all what you feel strongly about. But trust me when I tell you, there is no part. I don't care if I have $30 million in the bank right now. There's no part of me that wants to lose $33 million this season. No part of me. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know. I have no idea.
And to be exact, 33 million. So that's another 3 more million. Like, this ain't pennies and dollars. So you got to include those 3 more millions. You know what I mean? No. I don't care how upset I am with the team.
Where I get his, he's got money because his dad and all that. But where's his family at? Because I'd be like, baby, come sit next.
Right.
Let me tell you what we're not gonna do, okay? If you don't want the money, here's the thing: go out there and get that money, and then give it to charity. Be that petty and be like, I don't even want your 76ers money. I'm gonna go bless. But 33 million, son.
And you just letting it go down the drain. Yeah. I don't know about that. And I see you with your little aluminum mug. Is that thing made of actual aluminum, or is it just all silver?
The Stoli cup.
Oh, excuse me. I
stole it. But my neighbor from across the hall, she knocked on my door and she was like, "What is Stoli? Is it tequila? Is it vodka? What is it? I don't know what it is. Whatever it is, I think it's vodka because I don't drink vodka." She's like, "Do you drink vodka?" And I was like, "No." She's like, So she's like, well, somebody gave me this gift set, and she showed it to me. I was like, oh, I'll take those cups, though. I took the cups.
She took the cup and bounced. Cool. Yeah, I partake in the Russian water, but I don't know about Stoli. That it might be. I don't know about it. I don't know about it.
Whatever it didn't look tasty. So,
so I'll take the mug. You keep that nasty. We good. Oh man, so there's Ben Simmons. Yeah, so we done. No more Ben Simmons no more Ben Simmons for the rest of the show. At least not from me. And we're going on to it finally happened. So Jackie, I don't know how you're gonna feel about this next one because we joked around it. We've come so close to this. This is all that was next. We've seen this man go out there and sail his boat by his lonesome over by the Golden Gate Bridge. We've seen him out there sail with his man Rocco over there in the bay. Well, he's now jumped off the boat and he is out there he's out there swimming in the bay. Now it's post practice, excuse me. So it's to help it's another workout. Obviously, you guys know swimming is also considered a workout, and a lot of especially depending because it's just as much of a workout as like laps, if not more, because you're working out more of your muscles in your body. But the fact that he's doing it in the bay had me a little worried. I had this video to drop for you guys if you guys want to see it. His big self in the bay. If we had that, I don't think there was no audio for it, but there he goes. No ocean, but there's somebody near him because they're filming. So don't be too worried. The boat's there. It's all good. He's not out there by himself. Okay, you see the skyline in the back. But yeah, man, that's a workout for sure. Definitely good for the legs. I don't know if it. Obviously, if he's doing it, the doctors gave it the okay, so it's not gonna put no strain on the legs, which is what he needs. So I think it's dope. But Jackie, are you okay with this one? He has a homie with him. It's not him by himself. Rocco might be on the boat as well, so it's all kosher. You all right with this one? You cool?
Yeah, because water is great. It's great resistance.
Right.
It takes a lot of work, and there's no real strain on the body. It's not as much strain, but you do get that resistance. I like it, and he looks like he's a pretty decent swimmer. I can swim, but I can't swim like that. I can only backstroke or do the butterfly.
Freestyle.
I don't know.
You can't do the freestyle.
I can't do it. So every time I see somebody do. Y'all do that's so cool.
Yeah, I can freestyle. Look, the one thing I can't do is I can't tread water, so I'm like a shark. I always gotta be moving unless I'm somewhere where I can stand up. I always have to move. That's why you ain't gonna see me jumping in the ocean. Now I'm there doing it, and then you just seeing me going down, and I'm like, all right, y'all, well, it's been cool, and then that's it. That's the end. That's the end of me. I can't tread water for the life of me, man. That's it. But I just gotta keep going. That's why my experiences in the pool or rivers aren't long, because I get tired.
I do have a question. Where was he at doing this again?
He's in the Bay.
See, that's the only thing that I don't like. I don't know what's in that water.
That's true. I mean, it's NorCal, so maybe, and you can see he was away from the city in the video, so maybe he's in a little more fresher area, more, I don't know. That's a very good point. But I think it's a little bit safer up there. He ain't in LA. It's not the same. Yeah. So I don't know. But yeah, all right. So we co-signing Ben. Oh, Ben. See? Look what you doing, Ben Simmons, bro. Clay out there swimming in the Bay. Bars. But actually, speaking of Ben, we're going to his teammate Tobias Harris, who got himself in a little bit of a controversy. All right, he's out here upsetting Philadelphia fans, and he's not going about his stay in Philly too well. All right, and I'm not talking about anything on the court, because everyone's loving how Tobias has been playing on the court, especially since Doc Rivers coming back. I'm talking about off the court. According to Barstool Sports, Ben Simmons, what's it called? Yeah, according to Barstool Sports, Tobias Harris made a confession that wasn't received very well by Philly fans. It said there was a tweet that came out saying, no offense to Ben Simmons, but the biggest controversy with the Sixers this season is Tobias Harris putting mustard on his cheesesteak. Now, I'm not even from Philly, but I love cheesesteaks. I love Philly cheesesteaks. I want to go to Philly just to get a legit Philly cheesesteak from Philly. But shout out to Booz. If y'all know in LA, shout out to Booz. The owner from there is from Philly. Brought that out there. He's one of my favorite. He told me don't use no provolone, don't use no white cheese. You gotta use the cheese whiz, and that's how I learned that's the only way to go. So cool, right? So this guy right here, King Carson, I don't know who he is, but he's a Philly fan, and he is pissed. He said, man, Tobias, why you got to do this with the emojis? And Tobias Harris is trying to clear the air. He's trying to help people understand, like, yo, no, that's not what I'm saying. He said, I'm going to clear this up. It's not the first thing I put on my cheesesteak, but I've tried it, and it ain't bad. That's it. That's all, with a bunch of laughing emojis. So, I can see that, like you could try, like you might be, accustomed to having a burger one way, and then someone says, hey man, you gotta try some mayo on it, and you try to be like, oh, that's cool, but that's not what you're gonna do. But of course, being a celebrity, being an athlete is gonna be taken one way. So are you buying Tobias's argument, or you think, nah, that's cap? You're trying to save your ass. Philly coming after you, so don't try and cover your butt on this one. I believe him. I think he just had it, and he's like, all right, cool.
I think say it with your chest. If you like mustard on your food, you like mustard on your food. And the only reason this is funny to me is because, and a friend of mine, literally, we both had to look at each other and stop and just start cracking up laughing, because we got into a shouting match over how do you eat grits, right? So it was I put.
Oh no, I don't want to play. Oh my gosh, there he goes. We're not doing this today.
That is the way you are supposed to eat grits. It's delicious, unless they're cheese grits, in which case you put tapatio on the grits. When it's cheese grits, you put some tapatio on it. But if it's just regular grits, it's supposed to have butter and sugar. That's how you're supposed to eat it. That's the right way. Your whole face. This is exactly how that conversation started.
So water's wet, and you put in nasty little sugar and cinnamon. You putting a little cinnamon on top. You're gonna add a little, and then if you feel really fancy, you're gonna get a little cinnamon stick, and you'll put them in there and then put it on your little Instagram, because it looks all cool.
I don't do cinnamon sticks. But here's how. This is where the conversation really went awry, because I told her one time I went out with some friends and they just refused. They took all the sugar off the table. They just refused to let me put sugar in my grits. Grape jelly will also work.
Oh my. See, that is a crime. I would, if I saw you pull out grape jelly out. I love grape jelly. Personally, that's another conversation. I think grape jelly is better than strawberry jelly. I'll fight to the death on that one. But if you put out the grape jelly when we sitting there eating grits, I'm gonna throw that thing out the window. I'm gonna bring back the sugar and cinnamon. But yeah, you cool. My fault. Yeah, enjoy your brown sugar. You're fine. I'm sorry about that. That is disgusting.
I mean, it wasn't as good as the sugar. I'm gonna give you that. But I mean, plain old grits.
No, I'm cutting it off. No, but to be honest with you though, I only go the cheese route. That's my only. That's my go-to. Sometimes I'll do grits with. See, that's my thing. I would prefer grits with shrimp and grits than to do like, because I like all of them. I like sweet grits too, but it's my least favorite. If you told me to choose, I want the savory grits. So either give me the cheese grits or you're gonna give me the seasoned grits with some shrimp. That's how I go. But
yeah, shrimp is cool. But here, I win. You know how I know I win? Because
you don't win.
Leo agrees with me. You know, Leo stayed pretty quiet. So when Leo speaks up, thou hast wonneth the argument. I win.
I don't understand what's going on right now. You know what? Suddenly, I'm not so upset with Tobias Harris anymore. We're gonna move on. we're gonna move on. I don't even care what you guys think about Tobias anymore because this is bigger than that now. She said sugar grit. That's the main.
It's the right way. It's the right way. This is the way.
And you tried, and I saw what you tried to do. You tried to bring me on your side by saying cheese grits is cool too. No, don't do that. Stick with your little sugar grits.
I love cheese.
That's my number one.
You still gotta put Tapatio in it.
Yes and no. I'm down with that too. But I mean, also, anyways, this is not. We could do this all day. This is just like the water is wet thing. I'm not gonna waste y'all time with this one. I am upset. I am perturbed. I am thrown back. You see me trying to pull out my Stephen A. Smith words. Anyways. Patrick Beverley's the next one, and we were talking about Kevin Durant capping earlier, and we definitely know Pat Beverley was capping what I'm about to show you guys right now. So the details came out on the whole Pat Beverley trade saga and how he saw it in his eyes and how he believed it and blah 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 blah. So get this. Here's the first tweet. This is absurd to me. So according to Dane Moore, he said Patrick Beverley and the Clippers could not agree on a contract extension this summer. So Beverley asked the Clippers to let him control where he went next. Here's the part where I thought was funny. Beverley said that he gave the Clippers 3 teams and the Timberwolves were on the top 2.
Lies.
So that I took my first cap out of the drawer when I saw that, but then it gets better. So Dane Moore continued and said Beverley also said going to Memphis was part of the plan. Said he knew he was coming to Minnesota weeks before the trade was finalized. So according to this, Beverley knew that he had to go to Memphis before he landed in Minnesota. It was all plan A. That's what. If y'all right now are watching this show, I don't care if you at school, on the toilet, I don't care, and you ain't sitting there and you ain't like me with a snapback or a hat on, then you all crazy because this is 1,000% cap. Check out the reception, the responses to this one. This is cap element, right? 100%. And we got this next Kuzma's burner, by the way. And then we got this next one by LZ Hunter saying, "My guy just gonna pretend Twitter doesn't exist." I respect it. I feel the same way. It's like, you know what? This man he's acting like there's not a whole social media site that's going to burn him. But you okay, I respect it. I'm with LZ on that one. And Keon right here dropping the GIF for the day. Right. There's no way he knew that. And I refuse to believe, coming from LA, I refuse to believe that you said, you know, this ain't going to work. So if we're going to trade me, here's the 3 teams I want to go to. I want to go to Cleveland. All right. I want to go to Sacramento or I want to go to Minnesota. Now, I don't want to compete this year. I want to go to one of these teams because these teams just make sense for me.
Right.
Oh, let's make sure we go through Memphis. Now, don't make it easy. Make sure we go through Memphis. Let them cut me, and then I'm going to sign my own deal. All right, let's do this. All right. Clippers on 3. 1, 2, 3. Like, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. Cap. All the way cap. Cavity, cap. I'm not buying it.
Why? First of all, why would you say this out loud when you know it's not? Like,
that's what I'm saying.
The trades happen. I'm happy. Do the standard. There's standard responses for these types of questions. Like what?
For this reason.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you know what? Things didn't work out. It took some doing for me to get here, but I'm here now, and I want to work and try to build up this team, and you know I'm gonna do the best I can here. And move on. You don't say, yeah, okay, so we mapped this out. So we started up here,
it's
right?
It's part of the plan.
We go over here first to like confuse everybody, right? And then they can cut me, and then it can seem like I'm down, but I'm not out. And then bam, I end up over here. It's like a whole narrative. Let's do that, guys. Yeah. That's not how that went.
That's not how that works at all. Like even say like, you know, I'm happy to be in Minnesota. Leave it at then cool. I think what irritates me the most about this, I just hate the know-it-all. personality, the people who like, oh yeah, I knew this was gonna happen. Like, oh yeah, I knew that. Oh, I, you know, whenever you like, we were talking about it yesterday. Like, you just be like, oh, you know what I learned? If you press, Control S, that helps you save a thing. Oh yeah, I knew that. I just didn't remember it today, but I knew that. So like that's what I'm getting from Patrick Beverley right here. Like, oh yeah, this was all part of the plan. I was involved with everything going on. It's weak. Cap. All cap. Move on. And this was kind of funny. We got a big game coming up this Sunday between Tom Brady and his former team, the New England Patriots, and they are getting ready for the showdown in Boston, as there are billboards coming up, especially this one right here. And it took me a second, and I was like, oh, I get it. And this billboard saying the owl is no longer wise without his GOAT. And this is coming from Jake in Boston. And if you guys aren't getting it, the owl is Bill Belichick, and the GOAT is none other than number 12. Shout out to Jake in Boston. And Twitter was loving this. Every tweet was every response was either LMAO or ha ha blah 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 blah. But I thought this was pretty good. Now, we talked about Bill Belichick not evolving with the time, so there is some truth to this one. I am excited to see this game. I am secretly pulling for the Patriots just because I'm that petty, but I also would be cool seeing Tom Brady just go out there and just release, was it 17, 18, how many every years he was in the league of just pissed offness on the New England Patriots. So that's not a word, but add it to the Chris dictionary. Just go crazy on them. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a fun game. It's gonna be exciting to see. But moving off of that, now we got some drama.
Chris, it's not gonna be exciting.
You think it's gonna be a complete blowout? Yeah, there's like no way, shape, or form that they pull this into and make this into a good game. I agree, especially after him coming off that loss against the Rams. I agree. We know how Brady.
He mad.
New England about to get it. Yeah, no, I agree. That's why I'm glad I got Red Zone, so I don't have to watch the game this entirety. I can watch the, when they're in the Red Zone and stuff like that. Anyways, all right, we got some drama to talk about here, and this is actually kind of messy, especially when it's pertaining to a certain player that I still am very salty about after just his big moment against the Saints. I'll never forget it for as long as I live as a Saints fan, and I'm talking about none other than Stefon Diggs. Now, apparently, Stefon Diggs was getting really messy a few days ago by posting a picture of him and his ex, who his ex is now dating Bol currently. So I don't know why he felt the need to post this picture recently, and neither did she. And she called him out. She took the post and then she put it up on her IG story saying this: when someone who's supposed to be a famous athlete is just an attention seeker, it's been 6 months. Why do you still feel the need to post me? I moved on, so should you. And then she continued on by saying, if I can get the second message up, I wasn't going to address the situation, but you're my god baby's uncle, Stefon. So you'll have to see me. Why try to post something and make it into something it's not? Plenty of women have DM'd me about you, so why are you posting me? So yeah, this whole thing is messy. Now, like I said, she is currently with Bol. We've actually talked about it, I think, here, and we've done a video. I could be wrong, but we talked about it here on the Fumble a while ago. And yeah, do you see? I mean, obviously this is messy. I'm just trying to figure out why. Like, there's just some dudes, like, I don't know. Does he have beef with Bol? Bol trying to be like, look, you may be with her now, but she was with me first. Like, what's the point of the post here? I never. This is the part of my my gender that I don't understand. Some dudes, they feel like they need to puff out their chest in weird moments. So this one is above me. Jackie Ray, you want to help me with this one? Do you see why Stefon Diggs would feel the need to post this, or do you think it's just overall stupid? Because it is.
I thought Bobo wised up and dumped the IG model chick. So they back together now?
Was it the same girl? I think this is a different one. Mulan. I don't know how to say her name, bro.
Go to the same doctor, so I don't know. I thought this was the same girl. I don't know for sure. Is it not the same girl? I'm really asking.
Now I'm concerned. Yeah, I don't know if I actually might be the same girl, but this is relatively recent, and she's saying she's still with him.
Yeah, Artie says it is the same girl, and there's so because I know they had broke up for a second. So now that I know that's the same girl, that's what I think. What I think Stefon is doing. I think Stefon is saying, yo, bro, you don't want to end up in a PJ Washington situation. She was just over here the other day. Now, here's the bigger thing for me, because she said it was 6 months ago. You nasty. So you just bouncing from dude to dude.
I mean,
look, so I think he's really trying to save face. Like, yo, and here's the other problem. Ladies in the chat, you know this to be true. She said, I still get women DMing me about you. The only way a woman is going to DM another woman about some dude is if she's seen recent messages from you to him. She lying. That's the only way women are going to DM another woman about a man. She lying. She's still dipping. She is still dipping in that STEFON juice. Yes, she is.
Okay.
Oh, and Archie says her and Bobo have been together longer than 6 months. So what the hell is she talking about 6 months? It's been you done told on yourself. No. See, this is why, you know, what's that show? I saw it was on some sitcom, but there was this old school lady and she was like, these new hoes is messing up for the old hoes because old hoes knew you just stay in your lane and collect the check. These new hoes talk too much and they messing up the money. That's why I'm like, like you done told on yourself.
Oh my god, yo, man, this just gets. See, this is why I stay out of this, man. This is why I stay out. I can't deal with this because then it's just like, you know, because I know these. Look, I love watching basketball, love watching sports, but I know that some of these kids and these dudes, they just that dumb, and just seeing this like great, like yes. Shame on her, but nah, these Bol stupid for even putting himself in the situation. PJ Washington stupid for putting him in that situation. Stephon, like I don't know, bro. So yeah, I like your reasoning now more than before. Like Stephon Diggs might have just been out there trying to help a brother out, letting them know, like, yeah, especially saying 6 months ago, saying like, yeah, bro, I was with her. Go get out, stop. Like it was.
One of them old school newsstands. You remember them old movies? He needs to go past the old school newsstand. Grab a newspaper with the date. Take a picture with her and be like, this today, fam. This today.
That would be genius. That would be genius. I don't know that. Oh my god, bro. Guys. Be better athletes. Come on, son. Come on, man. Don't fall for the traps. Anyway, speaking of being better, we got some Bostonian fans here, Red Sox fans. This guy is better than me. All right. This little Red Sox fan gets a little too crazy. And she was in the wrong and then still went on to do what she ended up doing. But check out the dude for just being watch the video. We'll talk about it in a second. Watch my guy. She's clearly drunk too.
Will you please vouch for me?
Oops. That's what she came up with.
Oh, nice. Oh.
Good for him, though. Good for him, though.
Catcher number 30.
I got that on camera.
Good for him, though, for keeping his cool, because that
Yo, I would have been calling you and Artie for bail money for real. She'd have got it.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no. And then walks off casually. You know, that's assault. If somebody spits in your face, that is
I
legally
was just going to ask. Yeah. So.
Y'all would have been visiting her.
Y'all visiting her, or you wouldn't have been seeing her at a little visual?
Y'all would have been like, what room is my See, here's the thing. I'm not confrontational, but I'm not non-confrontational. You understand what I'm saying? So if I would have been like, girl, sit down, I ain't got no time for you. But then when you bring it, then I'm about that life. Tuesday, I had a similar, almost exact situation. A girl came up, spilled my drink. Didn't say nothing, walked off. I let it go. You know what I mean? I told the waitress, I'm like, yo, I'm not paying for this next drink. The girl heard me. I was like, she spilled it. She's like, I got you. But then she came up. So there's these little benches that people are putting their food on. Everybody on this bench has their food. And then there's a place that you can sit right in front. Instead of her sitting in front, she sits on my food. She sits right on my food. So then I told her, I said, yo, you need to stand down. This ain't a fight you want. You know, I don't just come dress all nice. You know what I'm saying? This ain't a fight you want. Then she gets loud and she gets in my face, but I don't say anything because I'm there for a comedy show that my friend is in, and I don't want to be the reason that, you know, he's embarrassed or whatnot. That's the only reason I didn't flash back at her. But what pissed me off is like security comes to me. This heifer standing up in my face, talking about what she gonna do to me, and I can stuff her in my purse, but security comes up to me. I don't say nothing. I let it go. I'm sitting there. I'm chilling. She goes somewhere else. She beelines it back and pours her drink into my food. I did not sit there like this, man. I got up. There was a problem. Leave it at that. And I told y'all the rest.
Yeah, I'm about to say the rest of the story. Yeah, we go. But
this is the thing. I don't understand why people. And I've said this time and time again because I have two friends, well, acquaintances that I just won't go out with because they're great people, but when they drink, they're not. So unless you're a happy. I have a lot of friends that are happy drunk, like, oh my God, this is the best night ever. Like, if you're like that, we can kick it and we can drink. But if you're not a happy drunk, you shouldn't be drinking, or at least drink at home.
Right. I'm about to say not drinking in public. That's the big thing. Like, if you're gonna drink, well, I don't know. You should be drinking at all, because that drinking at home can be just as dangerous. Because they gonna go after their own. They gonna swing on anybody. You know. Yeah. I have some homies that are the same way, and they let's just say they don't drink no more. I'm just gonna say all that. Yeah,
not for everybody.
Right. It's unfortunately not. And you can see the wheels turn her head like, oh no, they got me. What am I gonna do next? And then she spit on the dude. Like, it's just like, yep, yeah, that guy a lot better than me. The friends too.
Right. It wasn't even like a baby spit. There was
a frame of that.
Okay.
And like my man said in the chat, spitting in someone's face during the pandemic is crazy. Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Yep. So that's what we not gonna do over here. But Jackie Ray, I'm sure you got more. So tell us what we not gonna do before this fine weekend.
I need to calm down. If somebody find that girl's IG, find her. Anyway, let's go into what we not going to do, because this one's gonna be fun. Because I can't wait. I want you guys in the chat, Chris. I'm obviously going to come to you because I just don't. You guys know my narrative.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. This is my boy doesn't feel. Go ahead. Sorry.
Right. So you already know. I don't like putting the weight of an entire, especially a bad team. I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. You've heard me say it on this show. I don't know how many times. I do think it is beneficial for a rookie quarterback to sit for a year. Trevor Lawrence is somebody that I'm concerned about. If they end up being like 0-17 or something like that, what does that do for his mental? It doesn't take away from his talent, but when you constantly out there losing or running for your life and it's your first season in the NFL, I do think there's a certain amount of mental damage that does to rookie quarterbacks, and I don't think that they should be in that position. And when you have a trash organization, I said it, like the Bears haven't even been relevant since 2006. So let's not. And they barely was relevant then. That was a fluke season, but you know, it is what it is. So let me just break down how this went down. So week 1, Andy Dalton starting, he throws for 206 yards, no touchdowns and an interception, but he hurts his knee. So then Justin Fields comes in late in the game. He only threw 2 passes. That was for 10 yards. Then week 2, this is the other part of this story that messes me up. Andy Dalton was clearly hurt in week 1. But they were like, oh, there's no structural damage, so let's go ahead and throw him in week 2. Again, Chicago, no, you don't rush people back just because you're not confident that Justin knows what he's doing yet. But he goes in for a little bit, it doesn't work, and then Justin Fields comes out, he throws 13 passes, only complete 6 for 60 yards. But then so after that, that's when they brought in Andy Dalton, and he threw 1 touchdown, and then they won that game. So now let's go to week 3. So now they realize Andy Dalton's injury is worse. He probably has torn something. He might need surgery, whatever. So now they don't have him in at all. So he goes in, Justin goes in there and he throws six for 20, 68 yards. They lose that game by 20 points. It's really bad. But the man was sacked 9 times. And it's not one of those, okay, he was sacked because he was messing up. Every time it was like they were quick off the ball, gave him no protection, or it was a coverage sack. The only one that I saw where it was a problem was 3rd and 14, where he might have held on to the ball too long in theory, but that's a veteran move. That's a veteran move when you realize the earth is moving towards me and nobody's open. He literally was trying to move around, give his receivers time to get open. They didn't get open. He took the sack. But it's 3rd and 14 and you losing. So obviously he's trying to make something happen. I think it's a 50-50 chance on if a vet would have done that or not, depending on the situation. But yes, he was sacked 9 times, but people are making out like, oh, you know, he would. No, this is all. Let me show you these sacks. I'm not going to show you all 9, but I'm going to show you 5 of them. They're not his fault. Take a look. So here's the first one. Quick, bam. First of all, you got a team that got my man, Myles Garrett on it. And then Jadeveon Clowney. Myles Garrett had 4.5 sacks that day. That is a career game high for him. 4.5 sacks. Jadeveon Clowney had 2.5 sacks. But look at these sacks. Like he's trying to make something happen. This isn't his fault.
At all.
That's the 3rd and 14 one. So not his fault at all. He is a rookie. So here's my thing. If you were going to put a rookie in, you need to make sure he has time. You need to make sure your receivers, you need to run different routes because clearly whatever coverage you got is not working. You need to figure out the problem. This is not a Justin problem. This is a Matt Nagy and Bill Lazor problem. You guys haven't built the offense and clearly not the offensive line to give this young man time. I would argue you haven't built it to give Andy Dalton time. So anyway, on Thursday's episode of Get Up, Louis Riddick is basically calling for the benching of Justin Fields, but I agree and disagree, but let you listen to what he said.
Look, when you call 3-step drop and your quarterback on the 3rd step is getting his face smashed, that isn't play calling. That's just called I don't have people up front right now who can get it done. And we know as far as protecting young quarterbacks, that's really where it all starts with them up front. And this team, it's just not set up right. It's just not. For a young quarterback, he needs to really, as far as he's concerned, he needs to stay on the bench and really sit and learn.
So I was with him until he said he needs to sit and learn. This isn't a learning curve. This is not a learning curve. This is an offensive coordinator and head coach problem. If he was going out there and throwing pick after pick, maybe he was having problems reading the playbook, he didn't understand what was going on, then I would co-sign on this. But this is not a Justin Fields problem. This is a coach and offensive coordinator problem. But Twitter, half and half. So I'm going to give you the best examples of both sides of the fence. So this one said, now I agree 100% with this user. I do think both of these aspects can be true, though. This one says Nagy refused to allow Fields to get ready. Wouldn't give him any of the number 1 snaps throughout training camp or preseason or first couple weeks of the season. Protection was mainly fine the first 2 weeks, but his lack of adjusting his game plan to a different skill set continues. # fire Nagy. I'm with that. I'm definitely with that. Let me go to this next tweet. It says, LOL, Justin Fields isn't ready for the game. The game is too fast for him. If he couldn't take off because a rush is coming, it's on him when he goes back to pass and the first read is open and he holds the ball, it's on him. He needs to sit down and learn the game. 100% disagree with this comment because he's not even getting time, really. He's dropping, He's doing his drop back, and then the defensive line, they right there. He's got a 3-step drop, and then they in his face, and now he's trying to figure out, okay, he doesn't have time. Maybe he could learn to scramble more, but maybe you guys could create a situation where you give him more time to get set up. Here's the thing. We always blame it on the athletes, but you know that you have a rookie quarterback coming into the situation. You know that you don't have an offensive line that's giving him enough time to do what he needs to do. On top of that, they only had 46 yards rushing, and Justin did 12 of them. So you have no run game. You have no run game. You're not giving him any time. That is not his problem. That is a coaching problem. So let's not say, if you want to say, yes, bench him because we don't want Nagy messing up his career in the future, I'll co-sign on that. And I'm with that. But don't say let's bench him because he needs to learn. This is what's happening to him is not his fault, at least in my opinion. So what I'm not going to do is sit out here and say we need to bench Justin Fields because he needs more time to learn. No, he learned 9 times what it feels like to get hit, and that was not his fault. Chris, what do you think? Do you think that I'm wrong? Do you think that Justin needs to own the responsibility of how quick people were in his face, or do you think? Well, what do you think about this whole situation?
Well, admittedly, I came into this as a title reader, so I want to apologize because I thought that was going to be your argument was the opposite of what you said. So I have to apologize. I was a bit of a title reader going into this. What we're not going to do. I apologize. Shame on Mr. Chris. I'm sorry. That being said, I could not agree anymore. When Louis Riddick, I was on track with him until that last line because I thought that's what he was going to say. Put him on a shelf because y'all are not going to take care of this product. So let someone else, let another quarterback go out there and get injured. Sorry, lack of a better phrase, lack of a nicer term, but that's how it is because the way that this team is built, that's the direction it's going in. Look what happened. Look what the hell happened to Joe Burrow last season. Joe Burrow, he was doing everything he could do, but still ended up in getting hit and sacked and all kinds of stuff and still having good games. And I saw the same thing with Justin Fields because in the little minutes Justin Fields got in the first game, in the second game, Justin Fields was doing good things with that team. And to Jackie's point, in this third game, Justin Fields could have thrown all kinds of crazy passes just so he could get rid of the ball. But and he took the sack instead. And to me, I see that as someone who is learning and understanding the game, and as somebody, like Jackie said, as a coach and as a front office that does not know how to put a damn team together. It is 100% hashtag fire Matt Nagy. Like he needs to go. We didn't learn our lesson with Mitch Trubisky. Not saying Mitch Trubisky wasn't worth the damn, but we saw the signs then. Mitch Trubisky had a crazy season and then didn't. That's all of a sudden that's Mitch Trubisky's fault because I know he's a backup, but I saw him playing some solid football for the Bills over the preseason. Not saying he should be starting. I'm just saying that Mitch Trubisky was not as bad as Matt Nagy made him look to be. And I feel like this is the same situation that's going to happen with Justin Fields, where Justin Fields is going to be playing a few games, few sacks happen, all this kind of stuff is going to happen, and then the narrative on Justin Fields is going to be that he's not that good of a quarterback, and then that's going to affect his career when that's not the case at all. I am a huge Justin Fields fan. I really believe that he has a future with this team, but as it's constructed right now, send somebody else out there to let them get killed as Justin Fields goes and learns everything that y'all think that he needs to learn because this team is built terribly. And the thing is, they do have a running game. They don't use the running game. And I can imagine why, because look at what they got. The minute that they're going to try and run the ball, they're going to get killed by everyone else. And yes, this is a good defense in the Browns, so we'll see what happens as the season goes on. But for anybody to be putting this on Justin Fields and to put the rookie card, to me, I think is absolutely a whack, and it's defending organization right now that has a huge problem and they refuse to correct the problem by firing Matt Nagy. But again, the GM is no better than he, so that's also probably the reason why Matt Nagy's still there. But yeah, it's got me hot that I'm seeing all these people saying that Justin Fields just is not ready. He needs more. No, what? What are you talking about? The dude took all those hits for this damn team rather than doing things that a rookie would have done. They're coming fast. Let me try this. Let me try it. No, this whole thing irritated the hell out of me because I was excited to see him start and to see it get handled like this. Like, it really pissed me off because I'm just afraid that now it's going to be reflected on Justin Fields, and then we have another, name the quarterback situation where they think that he's bad and then he goes to another team and he ends up being good. I just don't want that for him.
Yeah, I don't either. And Coaching 101 says if you're having problems with putting the ball in the air, then you start running it, and they did not do that. So this is definitely a coaching problem, and I'm with the benching of him, but it's 100% like we both just said, because
to protect
they're
him.
Not ready. Yeah, so until you get a line that can protect him, y'all need to go find another Red Rooster or something, because this is not it. Don't ruin this young man's career, because that's going to piss everybody. Well, at least me and Chris, it's going to piss us off. But
all the way off. I'm already pissed off.
Right. But you know what would make you feel better? Sugar grits.
We're done with the show. I would walk off if I wasn't in this box. I would. Oh my goodness, no.
Oh, that's so petty way to end the show, you guys. That's all the time we have for this Friday. Happy October. Fumble Live. We will see you on Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to like this, share it with your friends. Be good to each other. Have a safe weekend. Enjoy the sugar grits. I'll see y'all on Monday. There he goes again. There he goes again.